Hi crafters, today I'm going to create a foldable diorama card. This is not a conventional holiday project since you won't find any Christmas tree or holiday sentiments in it, and still it does feel like Christmas and it's totally music themed. To create a base for my project, I'll be using the dies from Diorama Card Builder die set by Paper Discovery. I need to die cut the largest shape once out of white cardstock, plus I'm going to need two open frames that measure 5 by 7 inches. The frame is also the part of the set. Now I'm going to place the frame die cut onto the base shape right in the center, and I'm going to trace the frame on the inside with a pencil. Next, I'm going to use my cutting mat, a craft knife and a metal ruler to just cut along the traced lines. I want to be able to light up the diorama from the back side, so I need the backdrop to be an open frame. As always, if you are interested in the tools and supplies I'm using, I have them listed down below in the description as well as on my blog. Now I'm using the tape gun and I'm going to apply the adhesive all over the frame. Once the adhesive is applied, I'm going to stick down a piece of vellum from Paper Discovery Vellum pack. Here we have an option to use either the chandeliers or candelabra. I'll go with the chandeliers this time. I'm lining them up with the top of the frame and then I'm sticking down the sheet of vellum. Then I'm going to use the scissors as well as the craft knife, and I'm going to trim off everything that hangs off the edge of the diorama, and also I'm going to trim off all the extra and only leave the vellum where the frame is. Now I'm going to use the second frame that I've die cut at the very beginning. I'm applying the adhesive all around the outline and then I'm going to stick it down on top of the vellum. This way I'm going to hide all the adhesive that is showing through, and also I'm going to provide some extra sturdiness to the entire construction. The next step is folding all the creased lines that are created by the die. This way I'm going to create two tabs, one for the front of the diorama and one for the middle layer. This is exactly the result that we are looking for. The tabs should be on the inside of the diorama at both sides. Now I'm going to apply some double-sided tape and I'm going to adhere the two sections that form the mid-tab. This way the mid-tab is going to be 2 layers of cardstock and the front tab is just 1 layer. Before I attach the front layer of the diorama, I'm going to create a scene inside. This time it's going to be the stage with jazz musicians. I used the dies from Jazz Band die set and I've die cut the shapes out of white, black, gray as well as the silver cardstock. This piece of cardstock is going to be a stab and I'm going to attach it right onto the vellum at the back of my diorama. The reason for that is that I just want to raise a drummer a little bit, and this way I'm going to fill in the entire space inside the diorama. Then I'm applying a little bit of liquid adhesive onto the drummer die cut and I'm going to stick it down right onto the vellum. In this project, the shapes at the back will be the lightest and the ones closer to the front will be the darkest. And now I can go ahead and attach the front of the diorama. This is the last remaining frame. I'm applying some double-sided tape only at the two sides of the frame and I'm sticking them down to the tabs of the sides. This simple strip of cardstock is going to be the floor, and I'm going to attach it to the mid tabs. Again, I'm only applying the adhesive at the sides where the strip touches the tabs. Now I'm playing around with the remaining shapes, deciding where I'm going to put them. I think that the bass guitar player will go at the back of the diorama closer to the drummer. And then the trombone player will be attached to the mid layer. By the way, he's a bit darker, so I'm following this general idea here. I'm using an acrylic block where possible to hold the die cuts down until the glue dries. With the trombone player, I'm simply applying some glue only behind his feet, and I'm attaching him to the floor, which is the mid layer. The singer will be at the very front, so I'm definitely going to add more detail to this image. I've die cut her twice, once out of black cardstock and once out of silver mirror cardstock. I'm going to use the silver die cut to create her dress as well as the shoes. The die creates some debossed lines that define the outline of the dress, so I'm using those lines as a guide to cut it out. It's very simple to do. This process is the same as playing with paper dolls, only that you don't have to leave the tabs. We'll be using the glue instead. Now I'm applying some adhesive, and I'm going to stick the dress down exactly where it belongs, and again you can use the debossed lines as a guide. I think I will add the shoes as well, so I'm simply drawing the shoe outline with a pen or a pencil, and then again I'm going to cut it out with the scissors. Then again I'm applying some glue onto those tiny die cuts, and I'm going to stick them down. If you don't want to work with such tiny details, you can simply use a silver marker and draw the shoes. That will be a bit easier. Now I'm going to attach that singer at the corner of my diorama right onto the front, and I'm making sure that I'm sticking down her feet to the bottom and her elbow to the side of the diorama, and this way she'll be fixed in place really well. There is one little die cut left, and it's also the part of the jazz musician's die set. It's the microphone that I have also die cut out of silver mirror cardstock. I'm applying a little bit of glue onto it, and I'm going to stick it down. You have an option to place it straight or tilted like I'm doing now. At this point, I thought that my scene looks a bit empty, so I've die cut one additional outline. It's the saxophone player out of gray cardstock, and I'm going to attach it to the mid layer as well. This way the trombone and saxophone players will be kind of playing to each other, and this way the entire scene will be looking even more lifelike. As a finishing touch, I'm going to add a little bit more sparkle and shine to my project. So I have chosen a few of those tiny star silver sequins, and I'm going to stick them down and create a necklace as well as a headpiece for the singer. As always, I'm using my Ranger Multimedia Matte Adhesive in a needle applicator bottle, as well as the pickup pencil. And this is what the finished project looks like. This diorama is completely foldable, and it's very dimensional thanks to the diorama template that we used. We have also added some additional visual dimension by using different shades of black, white and gray. And of course you have an option to backlight this project, and this way it's going to look much more dramatic and just completely different. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. I wish you all a wonderful week, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.